Happy days! This time for some FACEIT League. We've got your NA Expert Playoffs going on. So we got upper bracket finals tonight alongside your lower bracket semifinals. We will have lower bracket finals on Wednesday, all culminating into grand finals taking place on Saturday. Upper bracket finals here, we're going to be sending a team into, into grands, but also into Master Division. We've got those precious slots are on the line. Team that wins here tonight, guaranteed a spot in Master Division. You don't have to play in any kind of PNR matches. Just boom, beeline right on in. You're going to have Carter Guard taking on Helios, two teams that, I may have slept on a little bit at the beginning of this season. Carter Guard in particular is a team that really seemingly kind of came out of nowhere and hit the scene here, in Season 6. Helios was a team that was coming out of Master Division. They made it into Master Division there in Season 4. Were relegated back out from Seasons 5 into Season 6, coming back into, Expert Division here for Season 6, and then struggled a little bit. I think it had some roster issues as well. Ended up putting together one hell of a season when it was all said and done. Wasn't looking very promising there at the very beginning. Turns out, here in top 3, guaranteed a top 3 finish. Let's take a look at our playoff bracket before we get any further, before I ramble any further, before I get any more ahead of myself. We are in this upper bracket finals. We are down to top 4, meaning that any teams remaining here in the bracket will get a chance at PNR matches. We got Cafe and Crimson's going on simultaneously here tonight. The team that loses that match, finishing the season in 4th place, will be in promotion relegation matches going into Season 7. We'll at least get a chance to fight for a spot into Master Division. But, as I mentioned, top 2 teams, whoever wins here today, and whoever's able to join this winning team in the grand finals, will both bypass that altogether. Just boom, you've earned your slot. You're a Masters for Season 7. What a hell of a season it has been. I mean, just in all over the place kind of season. Very difficult season to judge. I like to think I got my finger on the pulse with these players and these teams, but man, it was so difficult to judge this season. If you're looking at the standings here coming out of regular season, Carter Guard, your number 2 seed here, 13-3. Just behind Jurassic. Nobody, a real standout. You don't have any one undefeated team that's, head and shoulders above the rest of the pack. 14-2 is good enough for first. I can't remember the last time that was the case. Where your number 1 seed still took 2 losses. That's wild, y'all. It's wild. It's hard to get across just how competitive this Season 6 has been, and I think we're in a really wonderful spot. We've had some, wonderful breakout performances. Normal had a wonderful season here. We had some surprises, both good and bad. Noctis kind of fallen off a little bit, but then you have teams like Carter Guard, who just seem to kind of come out of nowhere. First season in the league, and end up with a 13-3 finish. Losses to Cafe and Nog Academy, which again, just to kind of show you how over the place it is here. So it's not even like Carter Garden lost to... They're able to beat Jurassic, he says with a question mark. Yes, they're able to beat Jurassic even. So they were one of Jurassic's 2 losses here this season, and it was a 3-0. Despite Carter Garden being a brand new team here this season, there are a few names on this squad that we have seen around here in Expert Division. Notably, Nyan's is a standout, Vindy as well. The 2 Fires, not as much. Firefly and Fire Carter. Let's talk about Helios a little bit. Like I said, Helios, managed to fight their way up into Master Division with this 3rd place finish there in Season 4. End up 1-14 in their debut in Master, which really, honestly, that's kind of normal. So, got beat up a little bit in that Season 5, and I was a little worried. I was like, how do they bounce back? Are they able to turn around and come back in and put together a comprehensive season here in Season 6? Like I said, it started off looking a little rough. Now, granted, they had a hell of an opening gambit. You had to go up against Jurassic, Noctis, Archelon, who, Archelon had your number 1 seed for most of the season. And then Crimson's, who ended up, making a deep run here as well. So, a really, really tough strength of schedule seemed to have been more a factor than anything. We expected them to do a little bit better than a 5-3 start. You know, it feels very middle of the pack, but you know, you went from 5-3 to 12-4. Putting together a 6-game win streak, and then, you do lose this previous head-to-head. Big note. Within a 4-game winning streak since, as we have, to close out regular season and entering into playoffs. Their toughest run has been Velocity so far. Otherwise, they 3-0 out both Project Villain, which I anticipated would be a strong squad, to be perfectly honest, and then 3-0ing Valiant as well. Carter Garden have dropped 2 maps as well, but spread over, Noctis and Crimsons. So essentially, both teams coming in 9-2 as far as map score in this playoffs. It was Carter Garden who are banning out the Hazard, so we are going to get the Reaper ban there from Helios. Carter Garden is your higher seed, did get first map pick and did get that first Hazard ban. So that was a Reaper ban there from Helios. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into the upper bracket finals. Time for map 1. Start things off on Lijiang Gardens, where we're actually going to see Vindy pulling out a Winston. Okay, let's get some Wintons in chat. Oh, hey, I owe you some Preds, don't I? Let's get you some Preds as well. Was that just, okay, Rock Muncher, all right. Just opens up with a pair of headshots. Wait a minute, what on earth? What is this start? What a wild opening. I don't have your outlines on, so that looked particularly cool. We saw the same thing, and we had the same amount of knowledge that Rock Muncher did. All right, forgive me here. I was trying to get Preds up here, and I got distracted as that happened. Of course, people using, let's see, who do we got? Is that slow? Yeah, that is slow. That is slow. That was on the Widowmaker, now moved on over to a Socher. Oh yeah, Preds. I'm gonna give you some quick Preds here. Actually, it's good. You can have the entire 5. I don't care, whatever. That way, if people coming in late can get a chance to Pred as well. We gotta get a very early pair of support ultimates thrown in here from Helios. Magically in 5. Some late picks, and we'll get a flip here. So far, I mean, it's just been 1 apiece as far as team fights are concerned. Part of me really likes not having outlines on. I know we talk about this. Part of me really likes not having outlines on. I feel like it's more immersive. Finny does trade themselves for the carry. After punishing there with that pulse bomb. Fire Carter just, okay, I was about to say, here comes some friends. I looked a little like lone wolf on that elevator side. Beautiful shot there out of slow. Finds Faruskin. But you know what? We do get the Kitsu in play. Firefly, the recipient of the title blast, gonna go try to run down Tropic Gem. The wave temporarily kept them alive, but Vindy is there to pounce. Follow up on what Firefly had started. Now, magically returning, able to pick up a pair of kills. Gets Fire Carter and Vindy. Drops the self-destruct egg on the point. Get the, another 700 health back. And that is going to be Helios maintaining control of this at 88% counting. Overtime fight. Woo! Barely gets the touch. And it certainly feels like Carter Garden were winning this one. Now, that was until they lose Nyanza. Bubble here on the bridge. Tide Pod to help run down Vindy. I don't think it was necessary. Just felt like the aura of the title blast was enough to give the monkey a heart attack. We got a flip at 99% here from Helios. Yeah, it's magically running down Fire Carter. Firefly, recall, 3 seconds out. 29 health. They get the recall right at the perfect time to get more health back. A split second later, and you'd have only been at 29. You'd been dead by now, so able to extend this out a little bit. Vindy comes back, but comes and goes in the time it takes Firefly to wait for this recall to come back online. Pulse now available. Magically is picked up too here in the cleanup efforts. Gets you in play out of Haruski, but there's just not enough people left in the battle for Carter Guard to really do anything with that Kitsune Rush. Helios will take our opening round. Oh no, you're fine, Faceted. It's a team effort. I feel like we're just kind of all in this together. You know, if I can get to him, I get to him. Sometimes I forget him. Sometimes I'm late. You know, sometimes it's like that where I go to do him and then slow just knocks down 2 headshots and I get distracted. Speaking of here, let's go ahead and turn your outlines on so y'all can see everything. Give you your God mode back, or at least your omnipotence.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
Woo! Good recognition there from Firefly. Spots a low Tropic Gem in the back line. The dash through. Gets first blood. Feels like it's been traded back here, though. Vindy going down magically into JQ. I mean, okay. Let's go. I love me some Junker Quake. Don't see enough. Helios have given over for his cap, I will say. Firefly's initial kill. And we have seen the swap. Tropic Gem's gone over into the Lucio off of the Wu Yong coming back in. So have that extra peel there for Firefly's Genji. You can already see the difference it's making. You know, we saw that boop away there from Tropic Gem here to kind of clean up this point. And eventually, Helios will flip this over. Look at some stats here so far. Magically, 19-1. 19-1. Damn. Gets 0 out of 5. Kind of waiting to Firefly with a little bit of a bubble engage first, and then 5 responds. Woo! Mean shots there on the outside, yeah! Mows down for Risky Nyanza, just noped out. A few critical health bars here. Nyanza actually ends up going down. Sound Barrier to hold on. Magically is just gonna knife through Fire Carter. As the beats fade, still a Helios fight win. Hey, don't. We don't even call Maddie a fake fan in jest. Maddie's too good a fan to even joke about such things. That is a huge rampage. Veruski didn't even have the Suzu to fend it off, but the grab from Vindy is strong. And they end up not losing a whole lot through that. What do we got? I mean, we still have an OC in play, 70% counting on the board, but Vindy burns through Chopper Gem here with Photon Cannon. And this gives Carter Guard the flip. And Maddie, do not call yourself stupid. I also do not like you making fun of my fans. All right. That felt pretty even, but at the end of the day, you have Carter Guard down on the tank, and just not enough strength left. Just kind of not enough oomph left in the tank to push back what remained of the Carter Guard line. Excuse me, it was Helios who were pushing back in. Now it is going to be Carter with this OC. Drop a chip down. Magically cut down. Beautiful overclock there out of Nyanza. Extending this up to 80%. Oh, I know. We'll have to keep an eye out for that Zeta spray. Actually, good call. I missed it. Good call. What are we looking at? We're looking at a 5 Kitsu. Look for Vendi to be close to a grab. We'll see if they can stay alive through this. Magically low. Oh, Nyanza's off the side. Oh, yep, Nyanza's off the side. Vendi low. They have to back out, try to get one more fight, see if they can force a third and final round here. Vendi's able to get slow on the disengage. So they wait for the regroup. Here they come back in. 92%. Firefly gets the bubble and the dash through. Kitsu out of Faruski. Drop a gem with the response of the sound barrier. But the grab is too good, too big. And this is looking like Carter Garden on track to send this over to Gardens. Excuse me, Night Market for a third and final round. Manchiro, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Firefly here with the Dragon Blade. I mean, just, you know, chasing Tropic Gem off. Get out of here, Tropic Gem. You don't want none of this smoke. Actually, pretty delicate touch there from Tropic Gem and After. Doing a good job of holding on to this yellow bar. Magically with a shout goes on to the point, but Nyanza and company have this on lock. Good angles. Everybody in Carter Garden knew their assignments. There, the cleanup is clean. Kuffa also has the Zeta spray equipped. You are a noticer, Manny. You are. You're an observant one. Oh, somebody's throwing out some good vibrations outside. Little 2v2 up in the hallway. And I think with eyes on both sides there, Firecarter comes up with the all-important kill to start that off on a Tropic Gem, winning that duel there in the food court. This is eventually leveraged into a fight win here, although it's a bit messy. Not super clean out of Carter Garden, but it is a fight win nevertheless. Hey. Keep the camera out of the walls. Thank you very much. After trying to sneak away for a cat. Magically is such a difficult job. Honestly, kind of surprised to attempt the Winston here. It feels like it'd be so tough to get out of that choke. All right, you're end up trying to split the back line from the front, but a Kitsune Rush will keep this Carter Garden squad glued together. Firefly keeps the sides clean, the flanks clear. I mean, Magically has gotten a 40% towards this, first primal. I mean, just not really able to get in and find much in the way of targets or, There's After delivering what Helios desperately needed, and that was just an opening, a way in. They had nothing. Now Magically is able to start putting some pressure. Same task. Went in, forced the back line out, able to use a bubble to separate, and this time finds the kill on the Vindy. And Magically's patience is rewarded. Now, he's going to get a pulse bomb stuck to their back here at the end of this fight. Firefly will extend this up to about 90%. Exactly 90, as a matter of fact.
Cease now.
Slow OC. Kind of holding everybody back. Faruski, okay, does regroup the rest of the team. Faruski was on point, but switched step back with the rest of the team. Speaking of Kirikos, Kitsu out of 5. That's gonna be Vindy. Tidal Blast just goes running right at Magically in the middle of their Kitsune rush. Puts him down where Nyanza is able to hit one of the railgun shots. Oh, and a beautiful shot there on a Tropic Gem. Nice little 2-tap. And this is going to give Carter Garden the control, the point, potentially the 1-0 lead in the series. Do see a lot of blue jerseys here. Vindy throws in the grab, holds slow outside the point. Magically is able to make it back in with that bubble nor the Winton. They're going to last very long. Nyanza gets a good shot in. That final blow. We're going to get, once again, a spectacular cleanup. Carter Garden come back from an 0-1 deficit on this map to take the 1-0 in the series.
Play of the game.
Not the very opening shots of the map. Here we go. 20 seconds in. Wild. Wild. Whew. Man, they are fast with these picks and bans, aren't they? I gotta be a little quicker. I gotta keep a sharper eye on that. Now it's Helios who got pick and banned. They were still just like lightning quick on that. My goodness. Alright, well, let's go look at some stats there for map 1. Woo, very, very close. 5 with a bit of an outlier, but otherwise 9 to 10 deaths pretty consistently there for Helios, where you're looking at, 6 to 11 there for Carter Garden. Very, very close. Then he does end up with most damage and highest elims in the lobby. 5 down there, that outlier is your fewest deaths by a considerable margin. All right, let's get in Rialto.
Ready for battle.
You did good, Faceted. You did good.
Five, four, three, two, one.
I cast incorrectly. It was worth a shot. It was a cool move. Come on, you gotta admit, as a camera play, it was a cool move. But slow goes low left. Get this angle down main here. And really, I mean, yeah, you can see where your supports would like to sit back behind those little planters back there. It makes that very difficult. It can be very dangerous. Firefly is playing from this, this coastal side. Magically dives in. Tried to use bubble, gets forced out. You did draw Firefly in. And so after moves, it is able to pick up a corner. Goes into a 1v2. I think it actually does manage to snag the Mega there. It was a little hard to tell if they actually got the Mega or not. It was close. Oh, that was a gnarly volley. Dropping Jim lucky to get out of that one at one pace. In fact, will not. Vinny will chase him down after the cooldowns had been used. And this will be a defensive hold to start for Carter Garden. So we'll go into a Freya coming off the Widowmaker. Haven't even had a chance to really talk about the 5 Ana in here so far. I feel like this feels right. This feels like something I've seen in the 3 seasons of having Helios on the stream. Good sleep dart's going to lead to a kill on to Vindy. Yeah, good start indeed here for Helios. Now, Faruski's able to clap back, has a kill. Oh my gosh, look at the positioning. Oh, Faruski gets one into the leg, but the nade able to keep him alive. Faruski self-soothing, but gets slapped, and 5 wins the duel. Maddie's so good at Gamba, so good at Gamba. I mean, you're a professional. You've had a lot of practice here on the stream. Nano on him magically. A little help from after, able to run down Nyan's Fire Carter. Faruski did invest a Kitsu. I mean, if Vindy would be able to trade, you're in a 3v5 here if you're this defense. It's actually 5 who, or excuse me, Faruski, who ends up trading 5. It's 5 who goes down, is what I was originally going to say. We have not gotten a cap yet. Firefly gets a Tidal Blast, runs in, see if they can get a stun, but with Fire Carter dropping, it does feel like this defense has just run out of legs. As I say that, we get a stick and a kill. Firefly will pick up 2 at the last moment. We had long gotten the point on the board, but man, defense is, you know, going out with a bang, let's say. And they're continuing to hold close. That's an interesting, I love that actually. Interesting approach to Rialto, you know, just send the Winton in deep and leap back into the theater. That's a stick up top from after. Important pick there from Vindy, finding the Ana of 5. We'll just put a stop to this attack. Of course, you know, Slow could give an immediate huge advantage. One of these shots connected. Now, what are we looking at? Play it slow here, no pun intended. Build up towards the infrasites. I mean, this is one of the toughest corners, traditionally, one of the toughest corners in the whole game to try to play through. Good kill on to Nyanza. It's a start here for Magically and the rest of Helios. Oh, but Slow will get juggled all the way into the Thames. Magically trying to show off what they've learned at Winton U. That is a very low Firefly. Excuse me. That was Nyanza. Nyanza barely escaping by the hair of their chinny chin chin. Gets you out from this defense. 5's going to throw the nano boost in on him magically. You do also have the blast to work with if you need it. 5 goes down though. 2 for 1 trade. Okay. So it ends up being a wild fight. The Kitsu was used from the defense down low, and you're able to, you know, get aggressive and run down the Ana. But kind of the battle inside the theater ends up all going the way of Helios. Now they are still without their Ana in this fight. Dueling Tidal Blast. The Tropic Gym just goes flying out of there. Firefly moves in looking for the stun, throws out a pulse, it won't connect either. Defense now backing up, magically pursuing, looking to chase down, you know, hopefully a team that had no cooldowns, but no such luck. Barking up the wrong tree. Or maybe barking up the wrong bush. So much practice to not only lose everything I have 40% of the time. You know, that's pretty cut. Not as good as my Winton winning record. Win ratio, rather. We're trying to dive in on the carry. Nade trying to keep Magically alive through that, but it looked like a good bubble from Vindy. Was able to keep Faruski alive long enough to get a Kitsu into this fight. Faruski's going to return the favor. Takes down after. Nyanza finds a kill. Magically now nanoed in this 3v3. Runs forward to find Nyanza. Still, okay, eventually, you're able to get the kill on a Faruski. Was the original target in the first place. Ooh, that was a nice clip winning on to 5. Just took an extra damage, a little extra tickle out of Vindy. help this defense stabilize after the initial damage onto 5. 5's going to try to come back on Lucio, but there's an OC in play here from Nyanza, and it should just clean this point right on off. Carter Garden will hold here on point B.
Cooling down. Score 0-1.
I've been Winston Gaming? That's awesome. That's what I like to hear.
Initiating match.
We may have to do some Winston Gaming.
Ready for battle.
Overwatch really just has some of the prettiest maps in all of gaming. I swear. Five is going to come back out on the on. Look how far back Five is playing. All the way back on top of the point B arch. Or the AB arch.
Incoming. Stop the payload.
Slow setup of the Widow low ground. Was looking back towards main. Skiz! What's up, you goat? Appreciate you being here. My Master Division T2 Tracer player. Congrats on the big dub today, by the way. Slow ends up coming up with a big pick. That's a huge one. And the Widowmaker of Slow. Yeah, we started off, opened up this series with a slick little two-piece out of Slow. They're going to find a pair here in this fight. This defense is going to hold. What is going on? We have a slept. Who is it? Oh, it's a slept Lijiang. Oh, gotcha. Alright, I'll stop playing with camera angles. After gets out of there with 1 health. God, that was close. Woo, Vindy also very low. High ground control there from Magically and Helios. And Precise up in our first ultimate used here of this defense. Nearly 2 minutes in as well. Magically does end up just dead. That's not ideal. Honestly, don't know how that happened. I mean, that just might be the point. We'll see if Slow can counter. Woo! Let's get an 8 stack going. Hey, that's like all my viewers. I jest. Nano magically is able to find Nyanza and Vindy up here in the AB archway. And that should be enough for the defense to hold. Magically will move up for a third, fighting Fire Carter up here as well. Same spot. Faruski hiding. Whoa, ends up winning that duel when it's all said and done. That duel went all the way across the map. Faruski wins it. So let's step in with a Kitsu. Right over the point. We're looking for 5. There's a headshot. Oh, look at all of those X's landing. Eventually, Vindy gets slept. No, 5. No way 5 lives through that. No way 5 lives through that. That's not even fair. Magically is going to receive the Tide Pod just to stay alive. I don't even think, I think it would be legit just to make sure your Winton didn't die in that exchange. Furiski does end up with a pick on to 5. They're extremely late in the fight. Look for a very quick re-engage. Vinny swaps over to an reset for said re-engage. Slow sights, keeping Carter Garden at bay for the moment. Tidal wave, or excuse me, rejuvenating wave already is, and after has first pick, Slow will pick up a second. Furiski going down just means this Carter Garden team is running out of options, running out of time. Helios with a beautiful defense here in Rialto will tie us up here in your upper bracket finals. Y'all immediately jump to lineups being finalized. Ah! I suppose we can take a look at some stats there from map 2 while we're waiting to figure out what exactly happened in map 1. What stands out, friends? Magically, 30 and 5. I mean, that's a pretty big standout. That's a pretty big standout. Leads the server in damage by a whopping 25 damage over Vindy. Lich, you goat! In here says, let's go Carter Garden. Yeah, this squad, what a surprise this squad has been this season. And you know, it was a team that flew under my radar entirely when I first made my power rankings. And even when I kind of got them in the list, I gotta admit, I did not expect them to come through with a 13-3 second seed when it was all said and done here. I mean, what an impressive season here in their debut in FACEIT League. I have no idea who banned what. I don't want to ask him because Headrummer asked him right before I got in here. I don't want to just turn around and ask him immediately after they answered the question, but it was asked before I got in the lobby. I think Helios banned the Zarya. Once again, day 700 of asking FACEIT League to tell us who banned what and who picked what on this website. Last thing I need to do is harassing players about what they banned, right? Like, that's not... Legally, we're not even supposed to talk to them. Like, that's not... Like, they've actually said, like, don't talk to the players, like, early. It's not something that, like, that was in Season 2, when they were like, you shouldn't talk to the players. They haven't really said much about it since. But theoretically, I don't even think we're supposed to ask them. So it's like, even just asking them, I believe, is at least breaking what was once a rule. I don't know if that's still a rule. Obviously, players talk to me all the time, and I'd just feel rude as hell if I didn't answer and respond. I'm a Southern gentleman. I'm sorry, it's the way I was raised. You know what? Kindness and friendliness are my heart. I remember. I'm one of the people that remember that Texas actually means friend. It's what Tejas means. It's like friendly. Opening fight goes the way of Carter Garden. You know, I'm happy to see a lot of Winton here today. Happy to see a lot of Winton. With Helios magically coming out in this Hazard, the Zarya ban does make a lot of sense. We also, I mean, you know, with the Winton pick here from Vindy and company, which they're able to hunt down Tropic Gym back in spawn, by the way. Meanwhile, Firefly holds on to the point for as long as they can, but it's not quite long enough. to prevent the flip. Still, Vindy just dives in for a two-piece. That's going to be good enough for a flip. That's 4 for Vindy here in this fight if you include that opener on Tropic. All right, looks like magically is close enough. Are we going to get a touch? No.
Flashpoint ruins.
Kitsu available for both squads here. We have the interesting Lucio versus Weeyong matchup going on here once again. And there it is. You're trying to run down Vindy. Vindy's able to just leap out of the tidal blast stun radius. Then jumps on to Tropic Gym and runs down your Weeyong. So this does come with a flip of the point, but Vindy's able to make it back onto the objective where, you know, Slow is swapped over to a Reaper, but you know what? Doesn't really scare Vindy all that much. Doesn't even feel threatened enough to pop the Primal. Thank you, FACEIT. Yes, loser does ban first on map 2. Well, really on maps 2 through 5. Unfortunately, like the order of the bans does not necessarily go in the order that they were banned. So it will always show the tank on top. Unfortunately, like, so you can't just look at it and go, oh, the ban that's on top was first ban. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. Sound barrier for 3 here from Fire Carter. So don't have to get 5s out of this fight. Vindy, I mean, honestly, just dancing around everybody in the middle of this point. You're going to get the objective up to 85% and counting. The Primal Rage, able to help finish Slow off. Then you force magically into a corner all after Pulse Bomb goes awry. Everything just coming up Carter Garden here in Ruins. They will take the 2-0 lead in the map.
Ruins.
They want a temple spawn when they get it.
Next, Flashpoint Palace.
No. We will get a Helios favorite spawn here. And a swap to JQ. There's a bit of trouble. Shout already used. That was a nice little bit of damage, though, when the cavalry shows up just in time. After's going to go chase Vindy down. Oh, even finds Fire Carter here, who is coming to help the Winton out. You'll settle for a kill on the Firefly. Ends up being a trade. First cap goes over to Helios. Couple of late picks here from CG. We'll see if they want to attack, even though Firefly's not in this fight. I believe this is a 4v3 currently. And there's reinforcements showing back up here for Helios. 5, about 10% away from this Kitsu. We're trying to see if we can cut through Fire Carter, but they're able to avoid all of that. Oh, but you can't avoid the Death Blossom out of Slow. That's going to find 2. Big sound barrier from Tropic Gym invested in that as well. And that's going to be enough for a flip. So Kitsu was used just to claim that opening pick. Well, that was Tropic Gym, like going in deep. Yeah, that was a ambitious move there out of Tropic Gym. Will get punished. Magically trying to build up towards the rest of this ultimate. I mean, if they don't get this Rampage online, this might just be the map. A huge kill on the Nyanza. What a pull. The Rampage lands. Oh, it's a miracle that Magically is still alive, but that miracle will not last. The pulse bomb widely, mostly negated there by the bubble. And this is looking like a Connor Garden win here on Suravasa. In fact, a 3-0 dominant performance to take the 2-1 lead in the series. Slow will get a touch in at the very end. Looks like the last bastion of hope to hold on. Magically is late. That is the map. Carter Garden move up to match point. Oh, Nyanza. I love that.
Play of the game.
Now let's go over some stats there for map 3. We're not going to see map pick or hero ban. And yeah, it looks as dominant in the stat card as it felt in game. 21-1 there for Firefly. You know, Firefly and Vendi just doing a good job of playing in tandem, you know, looking like a hive mind. Looking like they were just sharing a brain cell in that one. It looks like Crimson's close it out on Suravasa. They will send Cafe home. And Cafe's fantastic season. But what a fantastic season. Still a successful season out of that squad. They ended the season with 3rd regular season finish, 4th place total there in the bracket. So Crimsons will move on to your lower bracket finals, where they wait whoever falls in this match. That lower bracket finals will be on Wednesday right here on this channel. So far, it's been quite the back and forth here. Feels like whoever picks the map wins the map in our upper bracket finals. We are going to get the Winton ban. So, no Winton allowed here, says Helios. And that was a Tracer ban. Felt like, you know, Vendi and Firefly just were behaving as one. Beautifully executed there in map 3 in Suravasa. Neither of those heroes available here. There's Carter Garden. Kind of ban out their own, you know, banning out Tracer. Like, fine. We don't need Tracer.
Ready for battle. Five, four, three, two, one. Objective unlocks in 30 seconds.
Both teams pulling out the Zarya. Oh, and Firefly after wicked good map 3. Starts off strong here with a priority pick, taking Magically out of this fight. Swapping into the Reaper as we get, yeah, we need a name for this. The Zarya Reaper comp. Shadow Bubble. The Shadow Bubble composition. I mean, it works out too because those are like, you know, your important cooldowns. You first bubble your Reaper in, just like that, and then your Reaper, you know, just wraith forms away. This is going to be a lightning fast pickup here for Carter Garden. This is 80 second, not even a 90-second checkpoint. That was an 80-second checkpoint. That is unreal. Little Blue Jay, I appreciate you coming back again. Thank you so much. One of the fastest times. I mean, just, whew. Firefly will be the first death here. As Carter Garden finally lose one. Can we verify that? Yeah, first death. Slow will double down. Shadow bubbles, both used. Watch for the Death Blossom. Nope, Firefly wasn't even close. I just saw Firefly going that deep. I was like, what are you doing, Firefly? That was a die on cart call. That is all that was. Yeah, and you get the Kitsu out of 5. I mean, 5, honestly, it feels like a little bit of a panic ult out of 5. I'm not sure you needed that Kitsu, and you've left yourself open for the rush coming in from Faruski. Oddly enough, it's Skunk of Jeffrey Bull. Oddly enough, that does kind of roll off the tongue. I mean, like, unexpectedly. Ah, yes, a little Skunk of Jeffrey Bull. I believe I shall. I do declare. Firefly taking slow out of this fight. It was a Sound Barrier, Kitsu, Graviton Surge, all thrown in. I mean, that was a 5-ult fight. And you will see CG come out on top. And it goes back to 5, you know, kind of a little bit of a haphazard investment. 2 fights ago of that Kitsu, and Faruski's Kitsune ends up being the difference maker in that last exchange. One that's going to extend the lead here for Carter Garden and deny Helios a checkpoint. But now, magically, here with a grab that Vindy has already expended. Ooh, I saw you up there, Faruski. Firefly's gonna pick up a pair. Magically's grab will be a non-factor in this fight. It's a 2K Death Blossom, and TS1 continues to march. Each step ringing out for Carter Garden. They look to punch a ticket not just into your grand finals, but into Master Division in their debut season here. And what a statement this would be if they could, you know, get the cap right here. I mean, and just make a dominant end to the series. Graviton Surge in from Magically. Finally, 4.5 minutes in, able to throw in the grab. Combined with a Kitsu, does win out the fight. Once again, I'm not convinced you needed 5's Kitsu into that. Faruski will have the return. And, I mean, if you're Helios right now, you need to win this fight. I mean, you really would love to get the checkpoint here. Vindy will spin both bubbles to deny After's ambush. This should be a huge advantage to Magically, though. That was a overclock Kitsu combination out of Carter Garden. So, in lieu of both bubbles having been expended, they're just going to try to chase Magically and company out. After burns through Nyanza, but Firefly just runs up to Chopper Gym, sticks both shotguns right in the Lucio's face. Make sure that you don't get a sound barrier into this fight here if you're Helios. After barely Shadow stepping away with 1 health, but Vindy does not going to be fooled that easy. OC out of slow here to end the fight. Magically comes up with 3. And Helios, I mean, get that important fight win. Is it enough to get this checkpoint? With the Kitsus out of sync, this is perfect timing for 5 to get theirs online. Get this point in here. Graviton Surge thrown in from Vindy. 5's got to stay alive here. The Death Blossom into the mix. The Suzu's not going to be enough. Firefly will pull everybody down. They were held together by a thread, and Firefly came in and just yanked that sweater apart. A precious fight slips between the fingers of Helios when where they had all the tools they needed. You had Kitsu, grab, sound barrier, But it was just Carter Gardner able to go first. An enormous grab. This is going to be a solo grab on a Firefly to send the point back the other direction. Oh, another kill there would have been massive, but it looked like the other 4 players from Carter Gardner are able to successfully disengage to the opposite high ground. After it was going to pursue, we get the bubble, the shadow step into place, and the shadow bubble comp, living up to its namesake here. It's called the shadow bubble comp now. All right, we're dubbing it that. We're gonna get. It doesn't matter. Of course, the last day of the patch, and I named the meta. That's brilliant. Go, Jeff. Also, interesting thought, we may be in a completely different patch for your grand finals this Saturday. Five takes way too long to get this Kitsu back in the fight. Faruski's able to catch up, lap, and match. This is going to give another fight win over to Carter Gardner with right at 2 minutes remaining. And once again, the checkpoint has been denied there for Iliad Helios. Fire Carter, I mean, lucky to get that beat down. Was literal one when that sound barrier landed. Then, wow, I mean, it's huge. You're able to keep Firefly alive. You save your team through the Death Blossom. I can't believe Fire Carter got that beat down. Just genuinely unreal. Okay, so now slow with an overclock. It's all slow. I mean, open up this series with 2 mean headshot kills on a Widowmaker. Oh, no! Loses the OC here. Won't even get the voice line completed. And Firefly drops in with 2. That is just looking like the beginning of the end. Less than a minute to go. And, I mean, this is... been tough for Iliad Helios here on Esperanca. Teamfight wins have been few and far between, and they need to stack multiple, at least 3 in a row here. With 35 seconds to go, feels like any teamfight loss is going to be a disaster. And Firefly's already gotten first pick. Oh, Chopper Jim. Fortunate to land that one. Not sure it's going to amount to much. You know what? You keep the team alive. You give them another chance. There's a quick disengage there out of Carter Garden. We're going to get dueling Kitsus over this point. Yeah, I mean, exactly. We'll definitely be on a different patch. Yeah, is it giving a different meta? Yeah, you know what I meant, Maddie. You know what I meant. Dueling Kitsu is here in this important fight. He's going to be an overclock in from Nyanza to try to send Carter Card into Master Division, into your grand finals, and it's a 2-piece, back-to-back shots. Put Nyanza in the feed. Put magically and the rest of Helios into a difficult spot as they fall one by one. Carter Garden, take your upper bracket finals. We'll see you in the grands. Spectacular series, capping a spectacular season here out of Carter Garden. And they are guaranteed no less than 2nd place in Season 6. And furthermore, a guaranteed spot in Master Division for Season 7. Which could be enormous. What a way to set yourself up, going into 2026. Huge win. Big congrats to Carter Garden. Stats there from map 4. Nyanza 27-3. Vindy at 31-4. Nyanza actually your DPS lead, or damage lead, in the lobby at 10k. Impeccable series. Man, that was a fun one. I'm inclined to give Firefly your player of the match. Am I crazy on that one? I'm inclined to give Firefly your player of the match. I don't know if Faruski had a hell of a series. Vindy had a hell of a series. Faruski had a really good map 4. Like that 20-3, looking at these 31 assists. Like Faruski had a mean map 4. Lapped, we know for a fact, lapped. Backline, lapped 5 as far as Kitsu's. I mean, I don't know. Actually, now the more I'm talking about it, Faruski may be your player of the match here. Really had a spectacular. I mean, kept it with Firecard. I think Firecard was playing Wulong in this opening map, right? And Faruski actually outputs more damage, has the highest damage of any of your supports. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with my gut. We're gonna give Faruski your player of the match here in this upper bracket final. GG's. GG's.